Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. So, in this video, I will quickly go over how to create or how to actually publish your website on cloud, which is Azure, that we're going to be using for this course. So, your accounts are now set up, the cloud accounts are set up. And in order to access your accounts, you are supposed to go to portal.azure.com. Okay, just go to this link and you will be asked to sign in. Use your normal student ID, which is your student ID at student.polytechnic.ph, and the same password that you use everywhere else. Log in with that, and this is where it will redirect you. It should redirect you. Um, from here on, you'll either see the services at the top, and you can select storage accounts from here, or search it here as in storage accounts, and it shows up. Or the last thing is probably look here. Okay, but we need to find storage accounts, and I've already created one, but I'll show it to you again how to create it. So you'll click on create here. Once you're in storage account, you're going to click on create, and this should show up, which it's like a um, it's it's a form that you need to fill in order to create your storage account. Now these will be already filled, probably, so you don't need to touch those. But here, just give it a name. So this storage account, give it a name and pick a region for it. So I'm going to name it, let's say, IT6012 labs. I think underscore is all going to be, what about this? No, okay. Okay, IT6012 and then labs. Or if you want to create it for your project, you will just probably, if you want to, just name it as project as well. Right now I'm going to name it labs, and I'll probably pick West Europe, okay, and then leave the performance as standard and change this to locally redundant storage. Okay, that's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to click on next. After this, just press on review plus create, and then this button will be grayed out for some time, but as soon as it's like it's enabled, you just click on it and then wait for it to be deployed. And you can notice it says submitting deployment and all of that. And here it says deployment is in progress. As soon as the deployment is done, you'll know it here. So don't keep refreshing the page or anything like that. Just wait for it to finish. Okay, so now you can see the deployment is done. The next thing you do is you click on go to resource, and this really shows you the details of your storage account. Okay, and it tells you the resource group is whatever it, mine is different, yours is going to be different. What's the subscription and all of that. Now we are supposed to go to something called static website. That's what you're going to click at. Click on static website and enable it. Okay, and you're supposed to give the name of the document that should be the first document to load when somebody goes to that link. So whatever link is going to be generated, when a user goes to that link, which is the first HTML document that should be served, okay, or that should be displayed. So usually we have index, right? So just write index.html, or if you give it some other name, use that name. And then once you've mentioned that, click on save, and this is your endpoint. This is basically the URL to your website. Now, if you notice, we did not really upload any files. So if we go to this URL right now, shouldn't really show anything because the website is not configured. There is no index.html page that can be displayed, right? So for that, we are supposed to go to the storage browser, which is basically just to see what is in the storage. And you would go to blob containers. Okay, so click on storage browser, which says preview, go to blob containers. And this is where you will have logs, which sometimes have errors. If some errors happened, the error files are basically stored there. And this is the web container. Okay, now all your website files should go in the web container because this is from where your website is being served. All right, so now I will probably first of all upload one of the labs. If I can quickly scroll. Okay, let's take this one. So I'll take the index file and the CSS file. I'll upload those. Don't upload the images folder yet. Just take all the files, like the CSS files or the JavaScript, if you're using any JavaScript file, and the HTML files. Open and then wait for it. Now it's enabled and you click on upload. Now your index and your style sheet is uploaded. Now if you go back to the website, refresh, you can see the website, but the problem is the images are missing, right? So how do we bring back the images? You're supposed to, first of all, close this and add a new directory. Name it images, the same way how you have a folder there, images, you need to name it images here. And then once you're in the images directory, you upload all the images the same way. So I'm going to browse again. I'm not going to take the whole folder. I'll just go into the folder and pick all the images. Okay, open, wait for it, upload, and now all the images are there. Now if I go back to my website, I refresh, I should be able to see the images. Okay, this is how you host a website basically. So what we did was, the first thing we did was we created a storage account. Okay, within that we enabled the static website, and we specified which should be the index page that should serve when you first enter or when you first enter the link. And then everything that we stored from the website, like where did we upload all the files? We went to storage browser. We went, if I can show it to you again, if I click on storage browser again, this should show up. Okay, you go to blob containers, and within the web container, you first of all upload all the HTML files and CSS file, and then create a directory for images and store all your images there. And then your website should be live. Now, when you do that for your project, you should submit this URL as well, so we know how to access your website. Okay, this is exactly how you would do for your project as well. And just make sure you keep this link. And if you ever are not able to find that link, you can always go back to static website and find your primary endpoint. This is basically the URL for the website. And it also tells you that the website is basically hosted in the web folder or web container in the blob containers, okay, within this particular um, feature. So that's how you upload your website. Try to follow this and upload at least one of the labs that we did and see if it works for you. And once you're done with that, send me the URL for the lab that you've uploaded. Okay, thank you.